Yow! What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our broadcast. I'm your host, Eckstein. This is RGL.BG, the Sixes traditional season 2 semifinals going away. Also, upper bracket finals, another word for that. I am your host, Eckstein. I'm joined by Dolphin on production and Rogue on the commentary. How you doing, Rogue?
What's going on, X? I'm doing very well. I'm back from overseas where I was at grad school for 2 years, and I'm ready for some TF2.
Yeah. And I mean, one thing hasn't changed, and that's Froyotech still the North American regional champions. They haven't challenged themselves over national. They had a couple opportunities last year. No opportunity so far this year. But they, maintain their dominancy throughout kind of whatever the national North American, season competition tournament. It doesn't even matter, whether it was like Ulti Duo. I don't know if I've ever seen them in B-Ball, but I imagine they would destroy in B-Ball. They've showed up in Pro-Lander. They're showing up in no restricted sixes. Whatever it is, Banny and his team pretty much dominate. They haven't really been challenged a whole lot. That hasn't changed, except they did lose this regular season to the 100 Beasts. And I think you're probably familiar with some of these names, Rogue. Why don't you just give the rundown? Give me some intro thoughts on the Beasts.
Sure. So if we're looking down the 100 Beast roster, we have June and Yite on Scouts here, Ash on Pocket Soldier, Showstopper on Roamer, Bot Mode on Demo, and of course 404 on Medic. And I guess as a quick preview, as a Medic player myself, I've looked up for 404 for a very long time and really appreciate 404's play style where it gets a little aggressive in some interesting ways. So I'm pretty interested to see what 100B is able to accomplish here. What do you see on Froyo?
Yeah, Froyotech is going to be Eric and Banny on the Scouts. Eric a little bit more of the flank player there, but Banny, from time to time might slip in some sniper. Yom's on the Pocket Soldier. Patty joining the roster on Roamer, a land backup after Blaze putting away his rocket launcher at least for a bit. We'll see if he ever does come back to the roster. Who knows? A legend, that's for sure, but Patty, a legend in his own right. Habib going to be playing Demo Man and Cookie Jake, the medic. What's since you gave a little analysis of 404, what's your feeling on Cookie Jake? Let's focus in on the medics here.
Sure. So I think Cookie Jake is a little bit what's the word? A little bit lucky, when you're playing with Froyotech. A part of your job is already cut out for you. These players are so seasoned and so experienced at the very highest level where Cookie Jake maybe wasn't the first thought after who Cookie Jake happened to replace, but when you're playing as Cookie Jake, I find that a lot of times that Cookie Jake has pretty good positioning and an interesting heal order, maybe comparing the two medics very marginally, but I think you'll notice too that maybe Cookie Jake won't be in so much trouble as 404 might find himself in.
Okay, yeah, interesting. I mean, certainly the Froyo players and their aggressiveness adding into that. Ash and Showstopper certainly, though, have some pretty crazy bombs. We'll have to see how it goes. That's a tough question to balance out those two medics. I feel sort of similarly, I guess, with the end of that a little bit differently, that Cookie Jake is really reliable, really solid, but I sort of feel like the 404 kind of, legendary TF2 status is going to kind of rear its head a little bit here, and 404 might be kind of able to eke a little bit more out of some of these circumstances, and that possibly could be some of the undoing that could come in for Froyotech. Certainly, the other question is whether Patty and Banny actually kind of sync up properly. Way back in the day, getting old school with it, Patty has played with Froyotech before, but it was sort of the infamous roster that did include 404, but also included Muma. Free State was Patty's scout partner, and then I believe it was Blaze Banditship or TLR. TLR was one of their soldiers. It just kind of fell apart for him, in terms of the psychology there. Patty and Banny might not have necessarily had a lot of time together in this iteration. Back then, Patty was really focused. I was super impressed with Patty at that LAN and just the mentality that he wants to bring into the game. There was a famous tweet of Patty spitting on his Froyotech shirt. But, he's put those hostilities aside. And sometimes, like a good, wrestling storyline, rivals get back together and become even better friends, right?
Yeah, you got to do whatever you got to do for those W's next time. I've been there. We've all been there,
Yeah, I mean, Patty's found some success. I mean, certainly, I don't know. In my mind, like the most memorable Patty moments are kind of almost like tied into being like humiliated by Banny. That moment that I talked about, I-58. He was sort of maybe more of like Muma, and that was maybe more of the embarrassment. But the team certainly didn't perform at that LAN. I'm sort of blanking whether it was Rewind 1 or Rewind 2, but there was a very notable moment where Banny taunted and drew about like 3 players away from the point, and then they lost the round. So Banny's just definitely kind of gotten the dunk on Patty. They're working together though. And on the other side, though, are a lot of other players, though, that have, in some sense, sort of gotten dunked on by Banny over the years. And their team, though, Yite and Jay, both of them, some sense compared to Banny, certainly newer names on the scene, but plenty of experience. Jay did make it over to England with Yite to compete at the Insomnia LAN in August. I think that gave them a ton of experience. Showstopper's just been around forever. I think Ash is one where, if you look back at his career, I was thinking about maybe there's some other players that have maybe had some indiscretions earlier in their career. And sometimes those things, like, sometimes they shouldn't necessarily be shrugged off, and sometimes it is kind of a black mark on your career, and sometimes you're just kind of still like a lingering question. And I think in the case of Ash, he did have some behavioral things that were younger in his career. Maybe similar to TLR, you kind of have to wonder, TLR certainly did outgrow his like youthful outspurts. In the case of Ash, you have to wonder, like, does he really have the mental stability to like hang with Froyo if this goes like full 3 hours, I think that is a question.
It's a really beautiful thing, right? With all these players having such a deep and rich history, and for the game having the longevity that it has, that even this match, you say why, TF2's been playing how many dozens of seasons in the SEA and now into RGL, but just putting all these players in the server and seeing what happens is so leaving me foaming at the mouth a little bit here, and I'm really excited to see which way it goes, especially given I did some research just before we went live, and
excellent.
Both of these teams only dropped one game this whole season, and they dropped it to each other, so they couldn't be more neck and neck in terms of the past few months.
Right. We should talk about the bans real quick here before we get started, because actually our first map, Snakewater, players getting into the server, and I think we should be able to go live here fairly soon. And you mentioned the regular season defeat of Froyotech by the 100 Beasts, and that was on process, and that was Froyotech's ban right out of the gates. Then we had a Sunshine ban by 100 Beasts, Snakewater picked by Froyotech, which is where we are currently. Then we're going to head over to Granary, classic TF2 map, and that's was of course picked by the Beasts. The following bans were Gullywash, Product, and Metalworks, leaving us with Clear Cut as our best of 3 map if we get there. So share the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Please help us out here. I want to give a shout out to, well, first off, I guess the RGL-GG admins. Wonderful season. We people were putting a lot of effort into making this LAN happen. Unfortunately, not going to happen for season 2. But people are very excited for the 3rd season of Traditional 6s. I know I'm kind of taking a little bit of break. I'm not playing in the no restriction 6s that is going on right now. Shout out to that. You might still be able to join as a free agent and whatnot. That format is awesome. I'm looking forward to seeing some of that after we wrap up these playoffs. And more just TF2 ahead of us in 2020.
And how lucky are we that with so many cancellations and so many issues, and of course with the sadness of RGL LAN being canceled, esports just goes right back to its roots where we've always been, hanging out here. I'm sitting in some pajama pants. It's a lovely Thursday, and we get to watch our favorite game. So I'm considering ourselves very lucky to be here.
Yeah, no, for sure. I want to give a quick shout out while we still have a little bit of downtime to Jute.gg. They are an esport congregator site, and they got some TF2 on there right now, as in this match. But they also, they're just kind of friends of TF2 from over the years, as well as just kind of a cool esports site that's been put together. So I just wanted to give them a quick shout out. We should be getting going soon here, though. Thanks again for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. Best of 3, going to be super hype. Froyotech versus 100 Beasts. And what, Rogue? I'm gonna nail you down. What's it gonna be? Let me hear a prediction.
Oh, I just gave the whole run that, man, these teams couldn't be closer and all that, but you look down the rosters, you look on one side, you look on the other, and my heart in every way is telling me Froyotech. There's just too much firepower, too much coordination. I think 100B is going to put up a good fight. Maybe they can win their own map pick, but I think it's definitely going the way of Froyo.
Yeah, our poll right now looks like it's floating right at 50-50. I think I'm in that, spot as well. It's always been like, if you want that safe bet, bet on Froyotech. But I've also been in that situation, some a Mexican coworker who was the dishwasher, and Brazil was playing Mexico, and we talked about soccer a lot, and I threw that $20 on Brazil, and I was like, there's no way, dude, I got this. And then Brazil lost to Mexico. And the Beasts have been super focused on this LAN, and that's like sort of the question of just overall, have Froyotech really been super focused on this, or are the Beasts going to be able to just overcome them and pull this out? We got 3 maps ahead of us, ladies and gentlemen. This is the RGL Season 2 Upper Bracket Finals. Froyotech versus 100 Beasts. This is the end of Season 2. Getting down to it. Our first mid-fight here of the night. Habib coming out here with some stickies. June up top here. Patty taking the side. Banny also kind of able to establish himself on the upper ledge here. Kind of a slow mid-fight so far.
I'm seeing some nice positioning from Froyotech here, pushing across the point very slowly, almost as if in a line. Scout's so deep, and Cookie Jake does go down to Ash here, so that's a mid over and done.
Yeah, and 404 over on the catwalk. Froyo down to 2 players here. Eric fighting, he gets taken out. Habib has gotten out. But yeah, very kind of just slow, passive. They tried to get across the point, and an Ash just came up from the side of the shed. Pretty easy kill on Cookie Jake there, to be honest.
And now this is what separates good teams from great teams here X time is 100B with their full Uber ad. This has to be an easy last capture for them. Especially if they want to start the series off strong and they have to roll in here to last. They have 80% still. So we have to see how they're going to fare against the heavy and engineer setup for defending off Uber.
TF2 feels like an insanely mental esport when you compare it to, I don't know, Street Fighter, StarCraft, Dota. There's all these like hard metrics. TF2 though, you get a quick round win here in a minute 30. Could be huge for this entire matchup. And right now the Ubercharge has faded. They need to get on top of Cookie Jake again. Throwing him around. He's about half health, maybe even more than that. Showstopper taken down. Yike trying to get out. No, he'll get splashed down. And the Beasts escape with their lives. But Cookie Jake, about a 50% Ubercharge. Habib and Banny charging in a lobby here.
A lot of stragglers taking their time getting out of here. Of course, they're trying to put some damage onto Cookie Jake, but and Bandy Peck is nice as well, but look how close 404 is. They're still committed, trying to do what they can, but Cookie Jake on this 100% Duber is going to take second pretty convincingly. Ooh, Soldiers double bombing and get the force.
Showstopper just with a huge play there. Excellent rocket.
The control point is being
and the force getting out here as well. 404 has the charge here, bot mode. I wonder if he's going to take the team lower here. Indeed, looks like that's where they're going with June. Bot mode takes some damage, gets an arrow though, and then the Uber charge as they're coming in. Bot mode surfed around a little bit. June's still very low health. Yite on the point, getting plenty of capture time here. Yite is down, bot mode down. June's still on the point though, and 404 gonna saw. They get the capture 1-0 under 3 minutes.
Well, what matters is they weren't able to get it that first time with the kind of free full Uber push, but being able to seal the deal in the end is nothing to sneeze at, especially where they were able to play so quickly after getting that force. Now working our way into mid, Habib putting in some pretty quick sticky. We're going to have to see how well Froyotech is going to play across the point if they're able to get the same damage in.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that sometimes they play very passive on mids. I even had my own team up against Froyotech and noted to my teammates how respectfully like Froyotech just waited for us to make mistakes, even though they are Froyotech. I think maybe last minute they panicked a little bit. Patty though jumping in hard here. Yomps and Banny getting kills on the side here, but it's 2 for 2 at the moment. Oh, and 4 for 4 getting taken out by Yomps though. On the side, pressure in here. Try to find Cookie Jake here. Showstopper bomb cross. Jay trying to get in here. Bot mode pressuring with stickies. Bot mode taking down Banny. Still fighting. Use. We'll be able to flash Habib here. Get the save. Habib just going for melee kills up against Showstopper. Patty coming in with the rock on the side.
It's so ridiculous. Cookie Jake trying to sit on that Uber for so long. You're even thinking in your head, if you're Cookie Jake, do I just kill Bind and go back because they're going to kill me or force anyway? But luckily Cookie Jake meets it with some teammates. It's not the kind of mid that you want to see, but it's the kind of mid that you'll take when you can get, as long as you're able to get the capture here. And now they're even able to get some space with the late spawners from 100B. So now Froyotech is pushing this right off Uber, getting very nice high ground. Wonderful shots here from Banny, cleaning up the damage, getting put in from Habib as well. Look at this point presence.
Oh. Yeah, Froyotech playing a little bit more fired up. He gets the kill on Showstopper. Bot mode goes down as well. Froyotech certainly don't want to let this game slip away from them. They want to tie it up right away here. Oh, the push in. Ash getting dropped here. 404 doing a good job dodging, maintaining his presence. They knew he might go for that bottle, but he resisted. He's going to cycle all the way back into spawn. And Froyotech does have an Uber charge. Yomps getting in here. Big scuff jump off the shed here. Oh, players on the point. 2 down for Froyo, though. 2 down for the Beast in exchange. Habib has gotten stopped, though. The capture is not finished. Froyotech in retreat here.
What a play there. Yomps going in for what you would think was just a bomb, you know, try and get what you can get. But instead, they send a couple scouts in, send Demo even to go onto the point, and they almost just steal the round completely for free, even into 404 and Cookie Jake being even with Ubers.
I mean, you have to play aggressive. You have to play for the win. Make advantage of the space that is created for you. Froyotech certainly can play aggressive when they want to. Eric poking around on the side. Might be able to get in. No, okay. He backs up. He sees a level 1.
We've June on the sniper here. No off classes just yet for Froyo. We do have, however, the level 2 watching point, the Marxist coin 7th man here on the side of 100B. And I'm interested to see right now, we have Cookie Jake working his way into lower a little bit as they rotate into lobby, just trying to dodge the sniper. And can you blame them? I sure can.
Yeah, Jay is certainly going to be a threat. His spy quite renowned as well. Habib trying to poke in, but they're just taking their time here. I'm sort of surprised we haven't seen a sack yet to maybe bring in an off glass on the offense. Yomps getting very stuffed there. He's going to need a full heal.
Right now, 1-0 in favor of 100B on Froyotech's map pick. Froyo taking their time here, making sure they don't give up any of their advantages here. Not quite taking any advantages either, but look at this 6-man ball of death now peeking into their own left door. Just trying to poke and prod 100B, see if they catch anyone sleeping, see anyone making a kind of mistake. I like this push by Ash into drop down, rest in peace, the actual drop down, but peeking drop down to try and get some damage, see if he can catch someone off as well, but more of the same so far.
Yeah, it can be hard to play these moments real patient sometimes, but Froyo doing a good job of it, not, you know, kind of getting overexcited about anything. Things kind of got stuffed a little bit, but they're just making sure that everybody gets nice and overhealed. Nice and healthy.
What do you think about this level 3 position being right in front of the point?
I love that ramp position. I think it's real great. It's a great job of just stuffing a lot of angles. Eric going down. Showstopper and the sentry gun have gotten taken out by Froyo. Patty's going to go down eventually here. He's just running around with melee. Oh, there. Takes him a while to get him. Ash did get killed in the meantime.
I really enjoyed that little push there. You know, we talk a lot about breaking the stalemate with an off class or maybe sending someone in for a sack, and while we did see the jump on all, they still committed with so many players, and now Patty and Yomps both going down now, having to wait a while for Yomps to come back up. But I'm liking these kinds of pushes here.
Yeah, that last frag was a little interesting. Showstopper trying to get in, trying to get some pressure. Does get Oh no, one nice rocket on Eric. Can't find the second though. So at least he was able to kind of get out, find some space to potentially bomb out. But Yite's going to have to go back and change. See if he can get reestablished with the sentry gun in that same position. I definitely like it. Seven was doing it, and I wonder if that's something that the Ascent guys picked up from them. Former Ascent guys. Oh, and Soldier thrown in across the air. I think that was Ash, completely destroyed. Fanny fighting over by the truck, right on top of Showstopper. Showstopper will get away. 404 with the frag there on the arrow. Nicely done.
And now with this slight number add, you know, having 2 players up compared to Froyotech, now 100B is able to pressure forward. The Uber, though, does come out onto Yomps. 4-4 milking and milking. Flashing a lot here on the side of 4-4, but Yomps now getting this first is going to go down for it. You know, you are thanking Yomps here if you're Cookie Jake for getting that force, but it almost looked like it wasn't going to come in time.
Yeah, I felt like that was a little bit early on Cookie Jake's side, but, you know, still, you got to pop it, not drop it. He uses that charge there. And the Beasts have created some space for themselves.
And this is what I am appreciating is that both teams are showing so much respect to each other here. We've seen some off Uber pushes, a couple off classes here and there, but really just waiting for that 1% of an opening to then be turned into 100%, not just taking these 50-50 fights and hoping that you make it work just because you think you're the better team, because neither team, I guess, can be so sure.
Yeah, certainly. I mean, this is top level TF2. These teams extremely disciplined. They know when they should push. They know how to exploit advantages. And Froyotech are trying to work through Saw together here. Not getting a ton of space. Yomps takes a ton of damage. Ooh, barely survives there.
This is something so beautiful too, where you think in the, you know, if you were to define the meta of how you're holding a semi like this, your flank holds the side flank and your combo holds the main flank. But here, when they want to pressure into something and take a little bit of space, instantly 6 players all grouping up into this single choke to make sure it's clear, no one else gets caught out. Now Patty going and getting the kill onto Ash behind through cheese. Now Yomps here trying to go for an arrow. Look at this. Okay, this is kind of a weirder dry push again next time, but they push with enough of their players.
Yeah,
Banny.
Oh, Banny all the way on the battlements, but Jay just destroys him. Now Patty jumping in as well. He's gonna get crushed. Froyotech on the back foot here. Yeah, it's trying to force from the side. Yomps will come in from the side there to help out, and that does get the Uber charge out of Cookie Jake here. Eric kind of trapped in here. He's gonna go down. Cookie Jake fleeing. Showstopper should be able to find him. He knows he's on kitchen. There's gonna be enough forces here. Yeah, Cookie Jake taken down. This is actually pretty bad for Froyotech here. So many players down, and 404 still building charge.
It's going to be quite the sizable advantage. Still another 6 seconds for Cookie Jig to be up. And with Patty on an 11-second respawn, it looks like 100B is going to opt to take this dry push right into second.
I mean, yeah, it's back spawn, so... Oh, Cookie Jake, nobody even coming back for him. He still hasn't started healing. 10 seconds, says the STV stats.
And Yomps
and
gets a full drop with the full charge body shot onto... excuse me. Look at the jump on the Cookie Jake. Bam. When you have 400B players jumping into you. That's going to happen. You know, not the best mouse and keyboard in the world are going to save you from dying there, but yeah, I got to hand it to Froyo. Without getting that full charge body shot on 404, the round was absolutely in the hands of 100Bs.
Yeah, very small consolation for them to be able to get the kill on Cookie Jake. They do get an extreme amount of forward spawns here. 5 players coming out. Although 404 gets dropped again by Yomps.
Oh, Yomps is so hungry. These picks are so, you know, it's the kind of thing that is it incredible on the side of Yomps or bad on the side of 100B, but it looks like the players are taking matters into their own hands here on mid.
Yeah, Habib going crazy right now, getting a couple of kills. Oh yeah, I think he might have gotten 4 there. No, at least just the 3. Great plays by Habib. Froyotech surging forward now. 100 Beasts were creating a lot of space for themselves. Seems like always Froyotech just start to kind of get their act together, turn it back around. This time off the back, those huge snipes from Yomps.
we have Showstopper trying to recreate some of the same, take inspiration, and get the drop onto Cookie Jake. I like this play. Oh, 4 for opting to stay right in and bait himself, essentially. The sentry gun going down pretty early, and yeah, there's some cleanup here. No point time yet, very interestingly, but I think committing for these frags while you can get them, while you have the heals. Oh,
Oh, yeah.
yum. Delicious frags here, and full wipe will seal the deal.
Yeah, a bit of spawn camping. Jay trying to run into the point. He's not going to be able to. 1-1. Things tied up here. Strong ending that round from Froyotech, especially those snipes from Yomps, opening up a lot of possibilities.
I really like seeing from 404 in Good Spirits said, "Headshot me, coward," after getting body shot full charge twice. So everyone's having fun.
Yeah, well, I don't think it was quite a direct quote, but that worked out. That was appropriate.
Family show.
Yeah, exactly. Yomps trying to control up top with Banny here. Patty taking the other roof. Ash standing on the ground, but somewhat similar from the Beast. Showstopper jumping around. Will shove Patty back a bit.
Benny controlling the high ground here, denying these soldiers. And this is what's letting Froyotech get across so well, is by controlling the skies. Now Eric and Habib able to work their way across, getting these frags, and now it's the cleanup crew.
Yeah, again, it was Yomps getting in there point blank onto 404, actually bounced him all the way back. And the Beast just very banked up here. And again, you know, TF2 can be very steamrolly. You feel a little bit of momentum from Froyotech, but it will be Ubercharge against Ubercharge at least.
And that lends to these teams keeping each other honest, right? Like, it can be steamrolly. Whoop, quick jump in from Patty onto the engineer. Doesn't get it, but Eric comes in and cleans up, getting point presence. Habib gets the gun down as well. They traded 3 players for just 1, but you had to hold on to hope a little bit there.
Yeah, Showstopper pretty low, but most of the Beasts are feeling healthy. Jake trying to get forward aggressively. Jump around on the battlements as well. Cookie Jake going very high up. He's going to drop down, but lands on the pack. I think he had single-digit health left. Very close stuff there.
Now in a 4v4, you have to think, what can we really accomplish here? Froyo trying to work their way in, peek and prod again, but Showstopper walking right into the shutter. No fear of any and all sticky bombs. But it looks like we were back locked a little bit into this stalemate as maybe Jay tries to eke a snipe wherever possible.
Yeah, 14 minutes on the second half left. Yomps, a little bit of a rocket trade there. Ash will get back.
These sacks that aren't even really sacks anymore, you know. I think classically TF2 would just send your roamer in or an off class, but I'm on the edge of my seat here every single time one of these plays happens, because there's point presence, there's pressure on the med, there's pressure on the flank. Everyone just commits, but not so much that you end up losing all of your players. It's a wonderful dance. It's poetry in motion next time.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, that side of contemporary TF2 is like, you get into a stalemate situation and you just say, okay, well, let's throw in a player, let's just sack him. He either gets a drop or, you know, a use, or we just bring him up a pick class. We bring him up sniper, we bring him up spy. And actually in Europe, you even see people doing that and then changing, you know, items, like bringing out some of the banners or whatever. So Froyotech seemingly just kind of looking for that perfect entry into a clean 6-man push.
Right now, 1-1 even score line. Got just under 13 minutes on the clock here.
And some teams even prefer to play this map as running a double sack and then just retreating and attacking the team to attack into you, you know, because you just feel like that confident that it's not really going to end well once the Ubers are finished exchanging.
It's quite vertical in this lobby, right? You think of something like Metalworks, where it's just kind of a straight line all the way across the lobby, but here you can go up, you can go under, you can back all the way out to point and climb on some trains. Patty gets caught out a little bit by Showstopper on his way in here, but let's see if 100B opts to go for any counter sack.
Yeah, and I mean, this isn't rat jail. If that was Alpha, I'd say he's coming up spy. Patty has pulled a little bit spy from time to time. See if he does bring an off class. No, he's staying soldier.
Habib getting very caught out here by some of the stickies from bot mode. It looks like they're still waiting on the respawn from June, as June is up now in 2 more seconds on that sniper class. But now we have a push in from the far side of last year. Oh, juggled by the sentry gun, but Habib gets the gun in return.
Yeah, right at the end of that, he does. Yaite's still on the ground. He'll get just easily cleaned up by Yomps. Could be a situation, though, where he's, like, kind of killing the wrong player. Someone that, you know, Yaite's contribution to the fight already, you know, finished. Eric, Yomps will be respawning. He's looking to maybe push out here, get an awkward Uber from Cookie Jake. Cookie Jake is kind of alone on the bats here. Jay getting shut back. He gets an arrow heal. Rotates to the side of lobby.
I really love Cookie Jake's positioning, like holding on this fence on bats here. It's such a hilariously dumb spot, but you hide from the sniper, a soldier has to commit very deep to get you, and you can surf to the whole world from there, so it makes sense, but, you know, just sitting there with your face in a fence is, you know, I could think of better things to do with my time.
Yeah, I mean, that is the medic life, dude. That's just how it goes sometimes. You gotta stay tucked, especially when you know that you have a killer sniper on the other team. Sentry gun will be tested again. Patty gets across it. Can't quite get it down by himself. Eric is in there as well. He's going for the sniper. Doesn't get it. Finally, the gun going down to Habib spam once again. And there's a double sack. And there we see a little bit of pressure from Ash in return. Bot mode in a little bit of trouble. Oh, there was an arrow there. I guess he wasn't going to quite crater. Froyotech now. It's Yomps trying to pressure in here. Oh, Jay gets surfed onto the shed, then snipes down Yomps. Nicely done.
That's a thing of beauty right there. And looking at this back and forth going on in the lobby. Right now, still both teams pretty even. Both teams at 100%. Now got all 6 of their players back up. But what I love seeing as well is the support from your teammates and your players. Where one guy goes into bomb and then you say, okay, I'm going to try and get the gun, or I'm going to try and fight whoever walks into you. And while we have a second, too, talking about a little advanced tech, there is something incredible with the way that, let me see, yeah, it was, I guess, Yomps, yeah, had done the jump where Yomps flew just behind the sentry gun at, like, the fastest rate it can turn, so it didn't even shoot until he was landing on the gun.
Yeah, I think that was Patty. It was really good. Yeah. And Yomps right now on the sniper, he gets the showstopper down low, so this is where, you know, you get that off class, you get an entry frag. Now at 6v5, the off class still in some ways maybe not optimal, but if you can get that first frag, then you can, you know, find easier ways to leverage it. He sneaks out maybe a little bit too far, soaks up a bit of sentry damage. He's just looking across, and you know, yeah, sentry got a good shot of him.
And very disciplined again. You know, you have the opening of one pick here from Yomps, but once you can't take every single opportunity. You have to make sure it's really the one for you. Make sure you're ready to settle down with this opportunity, get to know it for all of your days. Now Yomps going in for another one, does pick June, but just getting the sniper, while that's good, you look for a little bit more, and Patty is trying to make that more.
Yeah, some damage on the sentry gun. Habib definitely able to find that angle of spam. But it looks like Jaehyun will be able to come back up pretty shortly here. Ash does go down. Patty with the trade here. Pressure on the point from Banny. Oh, he doesn't quite get the point.
Look at this. Cookie Jake sneaking off, running away, tail between his legs with 100% Uber advantage. Eric meeting up now on these bats here. I'm so interested if 100B is going to try and run a sniper. No, they run the Pyro X-Time and another engineer as well.
Yeah, Jay Pyro, another strong class of his. And can be very helpful here. You know, kind of the double of, like, one, getting players off the point if need be. But more so, this is, like, again, kind of an old school strat of just kind of air blasting the Uber charge as it comes in here. It used to be, like, standard defense. If you lose a mid, you run a Pyro. The Pyro's on the left side, though, by the shutter. Uber charge is going to come in from the other side. Banny's just running on the point. He wants to get it. Pyro's on the point now. He gets exchanged with the Habib. More stickies, more damage coming in from the point. The point very close to captured. 100B is still standing on it, though. Just 2 players left. Yite and 404. Madness going down here. Cookie Jake got a frag. There it goes. Yite getting fragged first. 2-1 now to Froyotech.
Slow and steady wins the race here, X-Time. Froyotech taking their time, waiting for those openings, and finally manages to finish them off. Especially you started to sweat a little when Froyo came in almost on the wrong side with 100B kiting, but a full Uber ad answers to no one. And now 2-1 in the favor of Froyo.
Yeah, it certainly goes a long way in this game. 6:40 left on this half. It is first to 300. Beast would love another round though. Let's see what they can get happening right now. It's Eric getting picked off. Sticky's from bot mode. He's a little bit low here. Patty trying to follow it up. He will find 404. The Beast looking through Cookie Jake now. Cookie Jake out. A little bit of pressure from Ash. There's a soldier behind him. And Showstopper, though, they will find Yomps. Showstopper jumping across. And with his... actually, he has to jump back. But will be interesting to see how the second point battle develops off this.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite parts of Snakewater, is getting to play from these bats and defend second passively a bit. But it looks like 100B making sure they get all their ducks in a row. Get all their eggs in one basket here, and or get their eggs in his separate baskets. Anyway, we have now Froyotech was able to just come right back in. 100B not even opting for point pressure.
Yeah, Froyotech will be pushing forward here. Maybe coming out of Cat, maybe just out of the main entrance of Saw here. And pushing forward pretty aggressively. I like the jump around by the soldier. Just kind of being a distraction, but taking a different angle of attack. Eric switching over to pressure around on Saw as well. Banny the first casualty though. That is Blue. That is Froyotech losing their Ubercharge advantage. Bot mode getting popped on while Eric trying to come in. Jay getting a flash as well. The Ubercharge is pretty even here. Fight afterwards. Soldiers jumping around. Yike controlling the high ground with Jay. Ash is up there as well. 100B still in good fighting shape here. Froyotech as well though. Nicely healed up. Ash getting destroyed midair. Going
Like a
down as
firework
well.
sign.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he got juggled and then hit scanned out of the air. Right now, 404 taking some damage. It's 3 out for Froyotech though. Banny gonna get left on the point alone. It is Patty and Cookie Jake out. Wonder if Banny a little bit miffed about that one.
It's so back and forth with both teams getting on the high ground and which one's playing across point versus not. The soldiers on the side of 100B kind of jumped up above Catwalk, letting 404 come all the way back in from the floor. Kind of managed that high ground very well, where they either committed to it all the way or not at all. Ash right now going for a quick little play and ends up going down. So it looks like 404 is not going to use this little 15% advantage, but let's see if Ash has any ideas on his way back up. Oh, why does Ash have an idea? It's Showstopper, of course.
Yeah, Showstopper already in there. He sees the Banny sentry gun. They know that basically rocking that same spot that Yike did. See, that's also just a level 2 thus far. Showstopper with that cloak and dagger. We've seen some patience out of him for sure in some of these games recently. In the regular season match on Sunshine, he was trying to troll Froyotech waiting in forward spawn, but they out-patienced him.
Here comes some of the pressure for Showstopper, it looks like. Showstopper just repositioning for now on that spy class, waiting for the opportune moment.
And Yite's gonna go down. Showstopper has decloaked. He's running right in here, right on top of the combo. He's gonna get taken care of easily there.
My heart stopped because Froyo was looking at him and they didn't even think for a second that it was a spy. Just thought it was, another friendly scout, but finally, you can't backstab someone in the front, at least. You couldn't differ on land anyway, but
yeah, there's some shenanigans. I've seen some things. I have some clips to sort. I have seen some things, my friend. But indeed, he basically was going for the social hack into the low probability, face stab or sudden showing of the back. They are 100 Beasts are able to maintain the position. They are able to just kind of get some other players onto pick classes positioning. Yite on the sniper here. He's working from what used to be drop down. He's up against the Yomps. And interesting to see Froyotech, consistently off-classing their roaming soldier to the sniper here. But Yomps certainly does have a shot.
interesting discipline here too from 100B to be backing all the way up, and giving enough space for Yite to kind of capitalize on someone going a little too deep. Maybe a counter-sack from Froyotech. You know, 100B doesn't even want to risk it. You know, there's only 2 minutes, by the way, on the clock here. If Yite takes out the deep right away, now it's go time.
Yeah, that is a huge snipe because now you can walk in through shutter, you can walk in through the side. Just not fearing like the insta death, you know, that a demo man could bring. Patty getting shoved back. The sentry gun has been taken out. Banny fleeing for the respawn. He's coming up as sniper right away. And Ash, one of the first casualties, overcharge out here from Froyotech. Yomps getting the kill on Showstopper. Seems like the push has ended though. A minute 18 here. This could be a good opportunity for the Beast to get in. Just a level 1 sentry gun. Banny trying to hastily build that into a level 2.
All right, we got 70 ad here for 4-4. The rest of the team finally alive and well and getting ready to go in. I'm curious to see if anyone's playing a little aggressive. It looks like Froyo isn't going for anything too crazy. Just try and survive. Look at this, the heavy on the point with the medic and demo. This way, though, X-Time, they can kite left or right, depending on which way 100B wants to come in. And they want to come in on Froyo's right.
We also have the Showstopper heavy providing the artillery in behind. Ash surging forward, trying to get the kill on the soldier here. 30 seconds on the clock. They got plenty to work with here. Patty jumping up from lower, getting with his teammates. It is just a fight here. Yite can't really find the shots though on the sniper. Hasn't been able to get the kill. There goes Yomps. Eric down as well. Ubercharge out here from Froyotech. 15 seconds on the clock here. 100 Beasts need to stay in here. They need to find a way to get this capture. 10 seconds on the clock here. Showstopper has gone down. Ash jumping over the top here. A high bomb over the top here. 5 seconds on the clock. They're getting on the point, but no, 404 cleared off. I don't think they're going to be able to make it. No, 2-1 at halftime.
That's where, you know, I always respect the heavy push with the Uber, right? So I liked 100B taking the heavy into the push, but the problem is, X-Time, when you have that much of an advantage and you have someone who can't clear that distance, by the time they wait for their players to come back, clear out the lobby, get in position, start to peek, go in, you know, Cookie Jake gets the Uber up. So by the time Cookie Jake used, especially then, it's over for real. So that heavy all the way on the other side of the point, not going to do too much, and it ended up costing them the round.
Yeah, and we do have some logs out here as, you know, 2-1 our final there for the first half, excuse me, you know, shouldn't send any false messages there. And bot mode coming out as the top damager, 50 points ahead of Yomps. So Yomps able to get both the top kills as well as top damage for Froyotech.
Are there any other particular stats jumping out at you? Anything? Oh,
Well, Yomps, the huge 6 kills on 1 death as sniper. That's pretty insane with 4 of those being, it says 4 of those being headshots, which, you know, I guess maybe a few of those could have not been kills. But that was just like an amazing off-class play there. Certainly gave Froyotech the 1 round win there. Still kind of digging through some of this other stuff we'll see here. And how about yourself?
yeah, I enjoyed like you mentioned, Yomps doing work on sniper, but for Yomps the second damage while playing sniper for so long, you know, you're not spamming the choke points on soldier, you know. And let me see here, played 5 minutes of sniper out of the 30-minute game. So
Yeah, I guess one stat to point out is you know, Cookie Jake with just 3 deaths compared to 404's 6. You know, 6 definitely isn't terrible over a 30-minute half, but you know, those 6 as well. 3 of those coming from Yomps, 2 of those coming from Patty. So it does just, you know, seem to imply that you know, that 404 needs a little bit better protection against some of those bombs. Those bombs from Yomps and Patty are being successful. And also, you know, I don't know, could have led to some big swings. I know for sure in one of those rounds it seemed like the 100 Beasts had a huge advantage but weren't able to capitalize. Ended up being Froyo's round in the end. Our second half is underway though.
I'm here watching our demo men putting out those cursory sticky bombs. interesting high ground taken from June. Kind of people not wanting to commit to the high ground unless they're sure they want to go for it. Right now, finally, we have 100B starting to jump into the high ground with their soldiers. But while they're up there, Yomps, Habib, Patty all work their way across, just walking onto the point, walk right into Yite and bot mode. And look at this, they can't stand a chance next time.
No, for sure. Just a huge fight there for Froyotech. Getting complete wipe of the beast. And they're going to be in excellent position here to push all the way to last. They're just going to get the pressure there already. Let Eric get the cap on mid. Let him get the cap on second.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
Now with this 100% Uber advantage here, we have the gun just barely going up, kind of holding up in the corner of the spawn here on this little dirt pile, which is kind of nice. It can block spam a little bit, make it a little harder to hit being off the ground. You know, you take whatever you can get in a play like this, but it looks like the Uber does come in through the shutter, but Jay says no on Pyro here. Does go down for it, but the Uber is already over.
Yeah, great shove back from Jay. Showstopper actually on the snipes. He'll get a kill on Patty. So Froyotech, very successful mid fight, but they can't get the capitalization on it. They can't turn it into a round win right away. 4-4 now with about a 25% advantage here on the charge. See if they get aggressive with it, if they maybe poke a little bit. Certainly they're going to be happy to not giving up the round.
This is where you can almost play yourself a little bit, right, X-Time, where you say, we have the super advantage, with their backing up, we should just go, but they wait, they use, it just barely dodge the trap. But maybe, honestly, they didn't even have to use, right? They're in now, but look at Cookie Jake's 80%. Yeah, Yomps goes down, and it looks like 100B is going to get the point, but at what cost?
Yeah, and so far it's not too bad. I mean, just the Uber charge is okay. A little bit of flip-flop. I mean, that's what these teams, you know, tend to do for a tech order. Oh, as Patty gets destroyed midair. Banny thrown up. Sky Hat as well. Right up top of Showstopper. He gets the kill on him. Easy. 4-4 bat mode. Still look like they want to fight this, though. But Ash mode has gone down. 4-4 going to get stuck on the bats. He's fighting, but he gets taken out. Yite taking it down as well. Bot mode in a lot of trouble here for Froyotech. Gonna get the cap here on second. Easy capture on last coming in here. Yomp standing on it with ease. Banny getting in. And 1-0 in our second half, taking us to 3-1 overall for Froyotech.
Yeah, I guess they played themselves next time, especially when you get those two picks as Froyo's coming in for the Uber. You think, hey, we can still win this, we can do this. But with their players that are still alive, being so healthy, they're able to take the space, get the frags, win the game.
Yeah, 4-4 awkwardly caught on battlements there. But just down 2 rounds here. The Beast still have plenty of time ahead of him as Yomp's big bomb over the top here. But 4-4 dodging the first bomb, but Habib following up on Patty's bomb. They get the kill on the medic. It's just Yomps and Patty down. Froyotech doing okay. Ash bombing in over the top here. He gets a lot of splash on Cookie Jake, but Cookie Jake's got a pack back there. Oh, and then he gets an arrow kill on Jay. Oh, Froyotech with another strong mid fight here.
Woo, man, I was on the bot mode cam for that mid, and I appreciated the self-sacrifice at the end, but something else makes you really think these players are truly on another level is, as I'm watching bot mode there, the soldiers go behind and bomb into 404. Bot mode does not flinch. Those soldiers don't exist. Still spamming the stickies right in front of him, spamming the pipes, repositioning. 404 does not matter in the slightest. And unfortunately, it doesn't end up working out, but it's good hustle, I think, to stay focused and let the other classes do what they need to do.
Yeah, and unfortunately, 100B are in a difficult situation. Last time they were in the situation, they did do well with it, but you don't want to keep putting yourself in difficult situations, especially at the end of that last round. It still was a Froyotech capture. Jay going down a little bit earlier this time, taking more precautions against the Pyro. They're pushing in. They've taken Yite's sentry gun down. Banny on top of the point. He knows that the rotation out of the other side of the spawn is coming out. Banny jumps away. Showstopper taken out here. Ash not very healthy. And Ubercharge is out here though from the Beast. They're getting some kills out, including on Cookie Jake here. Yomp's just standing on the side of the shed. He's rotating around now. Nice rockets from him to kill Jay. It's actually an exchange. But the scout Eric on the point here. Yite with the pistol standing strong. Oh, and they get Habib as well. Patty trying to come in here. He's got one kill. Can he get the other? His first rocket a little bit high. Second on the ground. Won't splash Yite enough. The pistol standing strong.
Great playing from 404 there to get the Uber in time, but I really enjoyed that push from Froyo because they this time went kind of more into 100B with this Uber advantage. They say, we know we can get the kills, we can put the damage into them, make them either die or get back in spawn, right? And they were able to pull it off, but luckily 100B scattered and fled to the skies, you know, soldiers jumping up and around, medic backing into spawn, scouts playing more towards the point. So it was very loose, but at the same time, everyone knows individually what they need to be doing here, and they're able to hold on just barely.
For sure. We'll see if Jay can get a little bit more work with the pyro, if the Uber charge comes in here aggressively here, if they do it over on the shutter side. Jay getting a little bit better of it. Oh, completely stuffed.
And now it's the dreaded full Uber ad pushing out of last. You know, you have to make sure you dot every I, cross every T, make sure no one's hiding, make sure no one's back capping. Just kind of play it together, but not too together that you miss a doorway. So 404 and the 100B boys working their way in, just getting into lobby now.
I was smirking at the Banny trash talk, which is always adds a little spice. He says, "Lol at the round loss coming your way." We'll see how this Uber charge works out. Yomps, Eric going for the back cap. Oh, yeah, and Ash going for the recovery here. Ash bombing. Oh no, Banny did call it. Yeah, Eric was hiding underneath. Banny pointing to the stands, hits the home run. He didn't really hit it. It was Yomps and Eric, but calling it out.
Ooh, I'm a little intimidated now, Exon. I don't know if I have the guts to be in the server myself.
The Banny mind games are great. Like, usually it's like the actual text, the literal text of what he's saying is usually like kind of cringe, but just everything about Banny mind games is pretty fantastic to watch. Oh, no, it's 404 getting bombed on again. So Froyo definitely playing in their heads. Bot mode, yeah, getting piped down by Habib at the end. And a reminder, this was Froyotech's pick, so don't lose despair, Beast fans. There's still hope.
And the score right now being 4-1 in favor of Froyotech. Another 22 minutes on the clock in this half, so 100B are going to need nothing short of a miracle if they want to put up this map win. So if you're 100B right now, as you're trying to defend this last with no Uber, you're just hoping that you can get some damage done and get yourself ready and sharp for the next map coming up.
Yeah, Froyotech looking to push in with the supercharge. And is popped early on Habib here. Plenty of space here. They're trying to spam across. Yite Sentry got a little bit more tucked here. Will go down eventually to the Habib rollers. Eric on top of the shed getting some work done. Banny is down. Eric's still floating around. He's trying to get pressure on Jay, but Jay with the kill on him. Habib's still throwing in some stickies. He's on the ground. Yomps on lower as well. Cookie Jake all the way out. Ash is going to run into Yomps here. Oh, potentially. I think he just went for a jump there and then was surprised to get the damage. 404 finishing him off, though.
Alert. The control point is being contested.
404 collapsing. They're able to get the capture here, luckily for them. And, you know, every adventure begins with the first step X time. So
Yes.
coming back into this 1-4 score line, 100B works their half Uber advantage through Saw.
Yeah, and this is good from them, although as we're saying that, words leaving our mouths, they've lost Yite. Jay kind of tight as well. Doesn't quite get the arrow. Showstopper taken out as well, but it is a 2-for-2. And Froyotech, well, Banny feeling confident here, as they do have a back cap attempt going on. They're trying to bait 100 Beasts into contesting them, but not gonna happen. It was just Yomps, no pain train, so not gonna be able to pull that off.
This is something, though, that you do enjoy to see, because when it's so scrappy like this, with both teams kind of committing the force coming out of Cookie Jake, wonderful force there, as they work their way into lower, and Ash is shredded. Ash able to get out in 100B with the full Uber, but, you know, if you're 100B, you say, look, we played respectful, we tried to, you know, keep everything together and respect Froyotech, but, you know, when you're looking down the barrel of them being on match point for the rest of this half, you kind of gotta pull out all the stops and take whatever openings you can get. So it's getting a little scrappy here.
Yeah, definitely. Yamps was behind. He's coming around to support Eric and Saw. Eric getting the kill on Showstopper. Yumps, I guess, did get a bit of an assist credit there. Eric was thinking about the back cap, but now going for the rotation. The cap on 2 is going to happen. Eric's still kind of behind enemy line. 100B pushing forward. Eric lets himself be known. He's trying to slow things down. They get the kill on him. They're pushing on a point here. The kill on Habib. And Cookie Chick with the overcharge, but they can't block the point. And the Beast claw around back. 4-2 now.
When 100B gets that second capture, you think, yeah, they have a 40% now, but it's a bit scary for them to go now. But then they get a pick. Then Froyotech drops another one, and then suddenly you just run towards that point, and Froyotech doesn't have enough play to defend, so 4-2.
Yeah, we'll see if the Bees have caught their breath here, as that last mid fight was a little bit shaky from them. A lot of pressure from Froyotech.
This presence of mind from 100B just waiting in the bottom corner over there.
Oh,
Bottom of Skybox. Oh, so patient, but too patient, I guess. We have 404 just barely trying to sneak his way into cheese, but is he lactose intolerant? It turns out to be the case.
We have secured.
yeah, it did not work out so far. Yeah, that was a rough one for him. And that was one of those things of like, you know, there's playing passive, but then there's also like getting things done. 100 Beast like didn't really have much of a game plan on that point, and now just the capture coming out here. Froyotech closing that game off, just very dominant on that round, able to get out, just kind of control pressure the spawn. 5-2 taking it, but not terrible for the Bees, not terrible.
And, you know, having that presence of mind for 100B on that mid that we're talking about to kind of wait and play passive, wait for the right kind of opening is very good to see. But it's that kind of thing where when your scouts are on the high ground, you can't even get in.
Yeah. And we'll have to take a look at the logs for this match. We're going to be on to our next game, Granary, which was the pick of 100 Bees. And certainly excited to see that one. Looks like in this last game, Habib was just a crazy half. 20-4.
Yeah, I'm looking at I'm at 20-4 with, of course, top damaging by over 100.
Pretty
You
insane.
have to look in times like this where, as much as Habib is doing the damage, who's taking the damage, right? And we see Showstopper and Jay both on about 4 and 10 and having quite a bit of damage taken. It kind of lends to the positioning we're talking about in some of these mids and some of these holds. If you just kind of get caught out, you're on the low ground, then there's not much you can do.
And looks like 100 Beast did win 2 mid fights in the first half, but in the second half they didn't win any. It also sort of looks like Froyotech did get a scrim on Granary earlier today, right before the match was about to happen. Up against, looks like that must have been Rat Jail. You know, nice performance for Froyotech in that kind of scrim on Granary, so they were kind of prepared for it.
Of all maps, this is something exciting for 100B, where as they were getting not even exactly like largely outclassed by Froyo, but in that way where it's, I guess, death by 1,000 cuts. You know, you get sniped one too many times, or they wipe your team at mid once or twice, and then suddenly the whole game's over. But what I like about Granary, if you're 100B, is a little bit of an underdog coming into this matchup, is this mid fight is kind of unlike any other in our map rotation, where with these big tall walls and there's either low ground or high ground, and that's it. No ledges, no ramps, whatever. Basically the enemy team can decide, do they want your medic dead, or do they want your demo dead, or, you know, how many scouts are we able to get up here onto these crates and things like that. So the mids kind of determine how a lot of the fights will go, especially given how tough it could be to get into that shutter on second, for example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is a very classic map. And I mean, kind of working with my team in just the intermediate division of the RGL league, which, you know, was an enjoyable experience this season. And if you're watching this for the first time, you're unfamiliar with TF2. A lot of divisions, a lot of different opportunities to play. This map, though, talking with my team about it, it just like it's so fundamental. And there was times where we were just getting like really, really rolled, and it's just like you have to think of Granary as very partitioned out map. At times, whether you're fighting in between yard and inside the second point, whether you're fighting yard and mid, the ways that like you kind of can control in between both of the different points. And some of the other maps kind of have that are maybe a bit more modern, have a bit more of a flow to it. Granary, though, with the adjustment in garage, that kind of opening to allow a little bit more kind of in between middle and second. That's really kind of the only change here. This is the most classic map still in rotation. We're not even playing Badlands anymore. This map is on Xbox TF2. So this is old school TF2.
You tell me you're not playing Koth Viaduct instead of Product with all the snow and no connector and weird visibility. China actually has China on it.
They don't have Koth on Xbox.
Is that true?
I'm pretty sure. I don't think it shipped with it. I think it was like I'm gonna look it up because I'm curious now. But I think Koth was like one of the first updates.
Well, I'll be
maybe after Badlands. Maybe I'm crazy.
But I do agree. What we're going to be looking out for as casters and everyone else as spectators is, whereas I like to think that King of the Hill maps are maps about playmakers and about making those big plays, creating those openings, putting the damage in. This map is much more about mistakes. Who's out of position, who didn't leave soon enough, who let someone slip by and then go and drop their med. This is where you're really sweating if you're both teams, where everyone has to be keeping their head in the game, keeping their head above water, because any one of these mistakes is a point capture, and you get 3 point captures and that's around.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, this map goes super quick. I mean, you can just get that just destroying fight on mid and then roll it all the way into last. Again, kind of some of the adjustments, putting that last point a little bit away from the spawn, and the way they change some of kind of the spawnings. Last point is kind of somewhat defensible. You do get kind of some classic TF2 stalemate sort of situations. This is a great map. A lot of interesting stuff, but we'll see what the team can come up with here. If they get like experimental, a little wacky, certainly if this is a 100-piece map pick amongst, what was the left forum, so they decided to play this versus Goalie Wash, Product, or Metalworks. So, certainly feeling some sort of hope over it. Showstopper asks, you don't think we're the best team in the world? Randy thinks they're cringe.
Yeah, you really nailed it before. You mentioned that even though what Banny says isn't always the best banter, just the fact that he's saying it makes it the best banter.
Right, and I mean, then you got, Showstopper's Twitter banner, once they beat Froyotech the first time was pretty funny, but then once they lost and coming in second, the longer that banter goes on, and sort of like, it just makes Banny feel like that it's fake banter, that that Froyotech's not really better than you. But now they certainly have a chance to prove it. I think if it does get to clear cut's going to be wacky, completely open. But the 100 Bs, half the beast on Granary here. See what they can get done. Patty has had some clutch moments on this map on Soldier. Yomp's trying to just walk all the way over to Garage. Patty playing it slow, waiting for his time to bomb out here. We'll come out of Garage here. He gets completely stuffed. Showstopper coming around here. Oh no, he craters right at Cookie Jake's feet. Yeah, down as well. And Eric trying to take an engagement. He's going to get piped. It's 2 for 2. Things kind of resetting, but Froyotech better positioning here, in my opinion. Although, as I say that, Pop Mode pushing into Habib, getting the kill. Cookie Jake weak. Pop Mode going over the top. He gets Cookie Jake. Yomps. Oh, yeah. Yomps cleans up Jay. Now 4-4 in some trouble here. He's disconnected from action. Okay, he gets with them now. But 4-4 getting pincered. Patty coming in from the other side. And he died with Uber.
It just got just in time. And it's funny, like you mentioned, that statistically, like following the numbers and the damage and the kills, that mid was in Froyotech's favor. Actually, we have the soldiers of 100 Bs coming to try and do some work, but Ash gets taken down. Showstopper, not able to get much done. But yeah, it's funny because that mid felt like, it seemed like anyway that Froyotech was winning, but it felt in my heart that 100B was winning it. They played so beautifully where they committed to the high ground with their medic and everything. Then when their team went in to jump, they all scattered, but within about 4 seconds later, they all grouped up in the enemy team's garage. So to have that kind of presence of mind, to have like a phase 1, then 2, then 3, then 4 of mid kind of coordinated with your team is so effective.
No, certainly. Mids kind of can transition very quickly. You know, did everybody get there on time? You know, okay, yes, we can engage into the first part of the plan. You know, does our bomb go well? You know, do we choose not to bomb? Certainly, you get into a flow chart that gets pretty complex here. As I think our HUD timer is kind of broke here. We got plenty of time in this first half, though. 27:30 on the clock.
Yeah, right now Froyotech is in the driving seat, right, and 100B being on the defense. We have now Froyo kind of peeking and prodding, trying to get some work done in garage here, but again, with everything being trapped, bot mode making sure no door is left unsticked. It's not so easy to get a lot of this damage or a lot of attack play.
Yeah, and this is where Granary has sort of improved over the years, but especially when you get two teams that are very disciplined, you know, things can, get really kind of stuck and slowed down in these phases when you have Ubercharge versus Ubercharge, because there's, just two main entries here. You have Garage and you have Choke, and teams do kind of play some footsies over in Garage, and you can see some frags go down. Yomps getting a little bit weak. Patty trying to fall in. Big damage on the bot mode, but they can't get the kill.
It's pressure coming right back in from 100B to try and clean up anyone who gets stuck in. Speak of which, Patty and Habib go down for that. So now player advantage 5 against 4 for 100B as they work their way through Garage.
Yeah, and there's just so many trap spots. That's why teams are just so hesitant to push in here. Banny getting popped on. Jay getting a little bit of an Ubercharge here as well. Flash to try to save Ash here. Banny trying to get this kill here, forcing the Uber to get cycled. Bobo getting cleaned up in the meantime. Ash still goes down. Be on the retreat now. As Banny surging forward with his teammates. Banny rounding the corner here. He wants blood. He is gonna find Showstopper. He's getting on top of the pipe. Jay taking damage from Patty on the side. This Froyotech just surging forward here. They want to get on the board first. It looks like they will. Yike going down. Bot mode bombing won't stand a chance to contest.
It's one of those situations, X-Time, where you think, hey, if we could just have one guy stall, then we can get our medic out to last, and we can mount the hold. But once they had their guy go in and stall, and then another one kind of stall and make space, then suddenly they're down 3 players and had no one to get their medic safely at last anyway.
Yeah, very well played by Froyotech. We'll have to see how this next mid fight goes. Bot mode a little bit weak on the balcony, at least until the arrow comes in. Cookie Jake takes a rocket. Stickies and spam coming across here. Showstopper getting onto Yomps in front of the red garage here. Now trying to get up top. It's 2 players down for the beast as Patty surging forward. Other frags coming in here. Showstopper down. Patty trying to chase down 404 here as Ash getting cleaned up here. 404 is just going to sack, kill behind himself, I believe.
What a wonderful high bomb there. Yeah, that led to so many of those openings. The high bombs being where you sink 2 rockets for your rocket jump instead of 1, where you can basically skybox a soldier, and either they look at you but can't hit you, or they just wait for you to land on them and kill enemies. So you've seen the power of it now, and look at the spawn camping. That's against the rules next time. What if it hurts their feelings?
No, not. This is the playoffs. You can just go crazy as Showstopper gets plucked out of the air by Habib. Cookie Jake also getting a frag on Ash. And the pressure just coming in here mad from Froyotech. Eric going for the melee kill.
He started getting a little worried there, right? If it's just banning Cookie Jake at the end. Like, this should have been an easy round, right? But, again, you take whatever you can get. Or at least they grab it.
And this certainly is Granary for you. And it can go from molasses to rapid fire very quick.
Last 2 mids, we saw both teams play their own side, kind of playing the high ground on the crates. This time it's a little bit of the same.
Oh.
A little bit of delay from 404 now playing up high while Cookie Jake's down on the ground. Oh, and look at this from 100B. They're going in. They're on the enemy team's crates here, playing towards garage, even walking into garage. You know, when Habib is the first one down, you can kind of take a little bit more liberty so there's no demo man shooting you off those boxes.
Yeah, Ash extremely weak. He's going to have to end up waiting for the health back. He's not getting pressured, though. A lot of fights going on over on the garage side. Ash coming in from the side. Will smack Patty from the side. Froyotech a little banged up. We'll have to back up. 404 taking the left yard from attacking perspective. They get the kill on Banny as well.
6v4, you know, we take those odds. As actually, Froyotech is playing very close. Showstopper going all the way into the high ground. And Cookie Jake forces so early and flashes so many. 404 Zuber is lasting forever. And now Jay's coming in. Bot mode's good to go. This is the cleanup here. Luckily, they do have Patty on this high ground.
Oh.
Stem out a little bit, but yeah, 2 up now.
Yeah, the bot mode being lost there, a little unfortunate. They just leave Patty, though, as he's going to get the health back in Lunchbox. It's so far away now. They're just going to get on the point here, and the 100 Beast claw one back. So within 7.5 minutes, we've had 3 rounds here.
Oh, what's that exciting? I'm feeling a little something like I feel like in my hand there's maybe a game in our hands here.
Oh, for sure. We knew that 100 Beast versus Froyotech was going to be exciting. Our first map certainly was 5-2 for Froyotech. Right now, 2-1 lead for him, but it's been a fast-paced first half. And right now, 100 Beast, Showstopper going for that big bomb over the top here. Yomp's trying to get airborne to stop him. Cookie Jake thrown around and killed. Ash, Showstopper, Jay now all down. 404 getting cleaned up as well. It's just a brutal death match now, and 100 Beasts don't really have any beasts left. Cookie Jake saying, "You got me, I guess." ...
It's what we talk about in the before the game went live, right? Is on these mids, you can essentially choose. If we want their medic dead, then they'll die. If we want their demo dead, they will die. And yep, 100B decided that they wanted Cookie Jake dead. But the thing is, when you can kind of pick and choose these battles so specifically, it's kind of like, well, which one do you want the most, and what are you going to do with it when you get it? So even though 100B got the first pick right on the med, crystal clear, Froyotech is able to go back in.
This is really aggressive from him, though. Off-rhythm stuff as they get the kill on Habib and Patty. Yomp's going for like kind of a bit of a backcap / distract. Ash going down on the side as Beast kind of need to form up here. It's actually the Beast putting the pressure on mid, though, as Banny's gonna have to back up to hook up with Cookie Jake. They know that Yomps is still behind, but the Beasts aren't very well formed up on mid itself. Banny know he can tease it. Yomps still going for this obnoxious backhand. He almost gets it. Gets a kill on Jay, but no, finally taken care of.
With these kind of out of position sort of plays, do you think this is Froyotech trying to be creative, or do you think that's a little bit of Froyotech thinking they're just a better team and they can get away with it?
Well, I think that 100 Beast pressured, kind of oddly there. They were the first ones to kind of throw it off rhythm when they attacked in the yard. And that turned out successfully for them. But I think plays like that, like Yomps, that is a bit of like Froyotech playing how they play, which, certainly is a little odd. We did see that on Snakewater, though, with that Eric back cap and Banny calling it out. So they love to back out,
And it's nice too that, as much as I love a back cap as much as the next guy, but sometimes you can see the whole round just go out the window, right? You have a play like that, players are stuck on all parts of the map, and then bam, it's over before you know it. Somehow, though, we just kind of settled back where we started almost. We have a classic sack from Patty. Ooh, nice air shot from bot mode, but goes down for it. Nice snipe, too, from Jay onto Eric. Ooh, no.
Oh! Yeah, as he gets Yomps as well, that really kind of changes the whole situation. It was just kind of a 2-for-1. Ubercharge being used very aggressively here from Banny. Milk from 404 a bit. He's able to just kind of toggle between his two players, although Ash gets very far forward. I think he was trying to pressure into Habib. Habib is... Oh, he craters! We got thrown airborne there and then taken out. Fight continuing, though. 404 in a little bit of danger here. Yite and Showstopper able to keep people at bay as Yomps getting sniped down by Jay.
That's such an interesting fight. When you're taking the fight here in Garage, especially with Jason on Sniper, you almost want to sack your Sniper and just distract them so that they use the Uber trying to kill him instead. Looks like, though, Yite and Jay able to get another headshot.
Oh! He gets a beam and Cookie Jake. Oh, and Banny!
I thought he heard me. Another headshot. What is this? Jay, stop! No, don't! Oh my god, that's a wipe. That's a full wipe on the 6 kill streak plus the SMG kill next time. You heard me talking shit here, and he goes for another 3 headshots to seal this deal, no problem. And I've changed my mind. From here on, I will only Uber snipers. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, Jake going insane, starting to put this game on his back. They have a large Ubercharge advantage here. They're going to get second for free here.
100% advantage too. Honestly, you buff Jay, see what Jay can do. Even if you feed Jay into one side and feed your team the other way, it'll kind of corral the enemy team. Jay working in with his combo, keeping the buff. And it looks like actually so much respect being given 100B. They're in next time.
Yeah, Showstopper with a good fake on the other side. Bot mode now getting the Ubercharge on him. Ash bombing over the top. He's trying to find Habib. A lot of damage on him. Will get the kill. Eric down as well. There goes Yomps. Cookie Jake in trouble. Does a 360 because he knows this is a downhill fight. Yeah, there goes Patty. 2-2 tied up. Plenty of time in this first half.
I'll be right back next time. I'm gonna ask Jay to sign my sniper rifle 1 sec.
That was pretty fantastic.
I'm not sure if you got any kills on that final push, but that
Something like a 6K. Certainly an insane play there.
Oh, I collected myself. At least we have no sniper in the mid. We have 100B still opting for this high ground. Cookie Jakes are playing on the ground. It's interesting that Froyotech's been winning and both teams are keeping it more of the same. Showstopper the first one to go down. Jay gets a trade in return. It's just back and forth, except Cookie Jake is a good 4th to have, huh?
Yeah, Ash came in though from behind though. It did get the kill on Cookie Jake. Will be Yomps though with a big mid fight, 3 kills. He gets the kill on Yai and 404. Ash, he's gonna go all the way back to second, get the pack here, and then potentially get an ambush on the respawn. Actually, he's gonna get the pack on Lunchbox as well. Be interesting to see if he can actually find something here. Banny looking. Oh, Banny does see him through the crack in the crate.
I got some great advice from a friend in, or was a League of Legends of all games, but saying you do just as much damage at full health as at 1 health. So I got a little hopeful with Ash there, trying to peek and see what he could do, but yeah, you know, TF2 has splash damage and whatnot. So
no, for sure. I mean, I think, you know, I've had the opportunity to watch some world champion Dota players play up close, and definitely something that I took away from is sometimes you just got to support your teammates' craziness, because if you're going for something crazy and you have 5 health, you might be able to pull it off. But if your teammate's like, oh no, man, he's got 5 health, I'm not going to support that, you know, then you're not going to pull it off. And that's where, like, I've seen some craziness out of Eric. Right now, Eric getting a kill on Showstopper. But I mean, that's how you make plays happen on low health. His Uber charges are equal here. Banny's just going to push forward while the cap's still going away. Showstopper, 10 seconds from coming back here. A little bit of pressure on the point just from Yomps here, and the Uber charge already being used to retreat. Looks like they might just cycle it and bring Yomps up and off class.
you see that little hesitation, that little breath for a second there where 100B is like, oh, we won this fight, we should go. Wait, there are more doors that lead into last. And then they all stopped, back up, spread back out, and now we're cycling again, like you said.
Yeah, Yomps in here. He's on standard. And just a little bit of, you know, waiting games, 4-4, building up. Yite, his sentry gone. Just a level 1 right now. I like that position. Kind of forward. Let them come in a little bit, and then, you know, can still push some of the bigger jumpers away.
We had 4-4, they're faking, just calling, I have Uber, using the voice line. Ooh, what is this pressure up top? Excuse me, 1 second. Showstopper does pick off the Yomps up there, but very interesting to be taking the fight up there. But anyway, as 4-4 is calling this, I have Uber. It's funny, you know, that you fake saying that you have Uber when you really don't to make the other team think you do. But I'll tell you some real fun to have is you call it like 10 seconds after you actually get the Uber, just to make them think they're really bad at counting. Like, don't stop just when you get it. It always throws them off.
There's all sorts of shenanigans that you can play with voice lines. Ways that you need to be careful.
It's interesting here on this map that having Jay on the sniper, as I say it, Caster's Curse, Jay is now no longer on sniper. Oh no, just rotated spawn, excuse me. But as we talked on running a sniper on Snakewater, you can kind of take these peaks, you can feed your sniper into certain angles. But here with these shutters on Granary, you have to wait for them to come in. So Jay's going to sit here hard scoping a shutter, hoping that someone comes by at some point in the next 13 and a half minutes in this 2-2 match.
Yeah, you can eventually have some players open shutters for you as a possibility, you know, going either way. Right now, Patty going for a jump in. We'll just run into the sentry gun. Eric also down here, so with the 2 frags, see if the Beasts choose to be aggressive here. 13 minutes on the clock, so it's not like a safe, easy hold if they choose to just play defensively. Yomp's getting taken down as well. 3 seconds for some of those players to come back, and that spawn is pretty close here. Beeb on the shutter here, coming in from second. Vanny getting a lot of the supercharge as well, right on top of Yite. Goes down. Yite just the engineer. This Stitcher gun's still up. Vanny just trying to run circles around it. He will get juggled, taken out. Didn't get the kill on bot mode though. So Habib trying to just corner this sentry gun. It's very low. Nobody up who can repair it. Yite gonna be up in just a few seconds here. And Showstopper going for a trade in Lunchbox, but he's spotted out.
Alright, now Froyotech, like, as we see 100B has this for Luber and they're waiting for the right time to use it, but in all this waiting X time, Froyo has 70%. I mean, it's not like, you know, you're not always looking for every opportunity to push out a last with the Uber just in case something goes wrong, but at the same time, that was a bit too generous, I may say.
Yeah, I mean, space created. Beast definitely being cautious with it, but they have lost that advantage. And just trying to tow it now. Jay getting on the point a little bit. You know, we can see his casters with the outline. Patty just waiting patiently from Lunchbox for an opportunity to rotate. Maybe get a back cap or something, get in there. And the Beast will just back up. They don't really like it.
Good discipline from 100B too. They're like, I think we can hold this. Maybe we can cut someone out, get a trapper or whatever. But nope, didn't work. Let's all go to last.
Yeah, and Patty spamming a rocket in here. Bot mode getting pushed back a little bit here. Jay is a casualty. But otherwise, the Beasts are doing just okay.
Ooh, this strafing from Yomps. What the?
Oh, good dodges from 4-4, but now the scout coming in, that is Eric. That's going to make him push the panic button. Banny and Cookie Jake back with an Ubercharge. Banny's maybe looking for it over on Z. He's calling for it. Bot mode gets finished up. Close range. Banny pushing in is going to try to stop this capture. Patty up top. He gets hit with an air shot, but then still able to trade with Ash. They stop the recap of second here. Good aggressive Ubercharge from Banny. 100 Beast waiting for a few players. Froyotech feeling nice and healthy here. Bot mode not able to have stickies up on the door as he's just respawning here. High bomb over the top here from Showstopper. Gets right on top of Patty, but he himself is bouncing back now. Huge arrow on him actually for the heal. Yite killing Banny. Eric down as well. 404 surfs onto the high pipe. He was going to crater for sure. He's waiting for the regen to kick in until he feels comfortable falling. Thinks about going to the window, kind of stutters himself. Great play by 404 there as Froyotech pushed back here. Now they're in trouble.
Excuse me, Habib
did get
hitting
404
that
though.
lone pipe onto 404 is just kind of the Hail Mary. Even
Yeah.
Habib can't believe it in the chat, saying, well, WTF.
Yeah, and you know, back and forth is a lot of what you see at this, you know, high level of TF2s on 5CP, and we're gonna see it here as now Froyotech with an advantage. The Beast just gonna be able to, you know, hopefully slow them down enough that as they retreat, they can build an Ubercharge themselves for the defensive last point. Sticky's coming in, Rocket's coming in.
Yeah, it's actually Furry being, you know, taking their time and making sure they don't drop anyone because they should win the round off this, but they are really taking their time. 404 are now 80%. You know, these players can build. While the fight comes in, ooh, Habib going so deep. The 404's on 95%. Points being captured.
Benny just able to get it!
Wow. And that's half X time. 3-2 in favor of Froyotech on 100B's map pick.
Yeah, I mean, you know, Benny loves to just pressure the point, you know, and it's a winning strat. You know, you just kind of get on the point. Other people are panicked. They maybe know, you know, as a team, they maybe know that the point's getting captured. That's the most important thing that they need to focus on. But at the same time, it's so easy to also just be like focused on your own deathmatch that's right in front of you, and be freaked out and not be able to kind of rotate and take care of that. So Banny just kind of playing that, perfectly, getting that capture. 100B actually out-fragging Froyotech. It was a very solid half by him. Look at the scouts, 18 for J and what was it, 14 for Yite. The damage spit out, though, does go to Banny, 309 per minute. Pretty solid stuff from him.
Yeah, that stood out to me too with Banny on Scout because we have both Demo Man after, and of course June getting all those headshots on Sniper. But it goes to show how much can be cleaned up from these players when they're knocked off the high ground or the low ground, or especially after these Ubers are exchanged. You have your Demo, your Soldier creating the space, making those openings, but the Scouts are the ones who are capitalizing on it.
Yeah. And the air shot war as well, 8-4 in favor of Froyotech. So that's another kind of little just nice statistical advantage.
I really am still thinking about that that stray pipe from Habib onto 404 on second there. We talked a lot about that. This is a map of mistakes, right? And especially with these teams being so high level, they only show respect to each other. As soon as that play comes in, that's half, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, that's a big difference because, Habib, obviously, he hit that pipe, he got that kill. He hit that pipe, because he was kind of aggressively positioned, let's say. But, if he hadn't got that kill and just gone down there to the medic, and then for a 404 had a huge advantage, they would have rolled into mid. They would have had the upper hand there, and they would have been feeling encouraged. It easily could have been 100 beasts half after that.
In this, we're now on potentially series point, right? If Froyotech takes this half, then they're winning the upper bracket finals, the semifinals here.
Yeah, and not the end of the playoffs, but certainly gives you a huge advantage once you get to the grand finals itself, and you get a little bit more rest, a little bit more scrim time if you need it, time to go over the videos, because that is an advantage, to have that capacity to rest. Certainly having the advantage in the grand finals itself is way worth it. And we're pretty sure, I haven't been able to keep a close eye on it, but I'm pretty sure our match that's going on the other side of the bracket, that is the elimination match, a team that loses there will be in fourth place. That's going to be a fierce matchup between Ford Gaming and Rat Jail as well. So, 100 Beasts, they're going to have a fierce opponent ahead of them if they can't get the win here.
Double elimination is such a beautiful thing, and I'm so happy to be using it in TF2 here for all these years, and it makes it such a really thought-provoking kind of matchup. Or even if now Froyo takes the win over 100B, let's say they face themselves in the grand finals, you stand to learn a lot more from a loss than a win. And also, even though Froyo is in the lead now and played very well on Snakewater, there's many universes where 100B is in the same position and they're the ones up instead. So you think there's so much to learn when you're in a loss compared to a win, but could you take out the top seed twice? Because you have to play 2 best of 3s in the final grand finals if you're the underdog. So this match, while neither team will be eliminated, means so much in the grand scheme of the rest of the playoffs.
Yeah, it's also, TF2, we don't always have an opportunity to play a lot of maps in a row. And maps make a big difference. You're seeing a different rhythm out of 100 Beasts here on Granary over Snakewater. I'd love to see them, in a potential double BO3 scenario. We'll see how it goes here. I think that if we get to Clear Cut, Clear Cut's going to be a wild, wild west. Just to give you a little bit of update from the other side of the bracket, I'm just going off of logs.tf, but it does look like Ford Gaming have taken the 3-0 first half under 15 minutes up against Rat Jail. So they're off to a good start for their evening.
And if anyone's just tuning into our stream here, Froyotech took the first map, which is their own pick, of Snakewater with a score of 5-2. And we had just finished the first half of Granary, which is a pick of 100 Beasts, which went 3-2 in the way of Froyotech. So in the next half, if Froyotech's able to get just 2 points, then they win the semifinal. But if 100B is able to come back, then we're going to see Koth Clear Cut.
Yeah, Cloth Clear Cut would certainly be very hype. Crowd wants to see the Beast do well. Ash in pregame, I see him. Nice entry rocket on Banny, not the air shot though. We've seen some fat moments though so far. I think the J Sniper 6 spree is probably the standout moment thus far.
I was still thinking about that X9. I've been like, yeah, watching the game and all that, but
Yeah.
man, I want to go back in this cast right as soon as we're done.
Yeah, I clipped it out, so I'm prepared. This is the first time I've been prepared for watching some highlights later. I highly suggest if people can while they're chilling, help the community out by clipping, give something for the people to click on and share around. I gave a shout out to a site earlier. I won't shout them out again because I don't really soak it in, but please just get out there, share TF2 in the community, watch it on YouTube. We're still out there. We're still kicking. We're still having fun. A showstopper asks, Banny, do you really think I'm cringe? Yeah, I definitely think that TF2 is just a fantastic esport. Huge shout out to RGL-6s for the professional, semi-professional experience that they offer everybody. There's some amateur divisions as well that you don't have to chip in. They've been doing a great job of leading the North American community. Of course, shout out to the European community, also the Australian community, and the Asia Fortress. Even like Latino TF2 and South American TF2 also rallying a little bit these days.
It's a beautiful thing, right? TF2's been here for so long and been with us for so many of these years that the people who are here really want to be here. It's none of these corporations like ESEA who have done so much, but have, in the same way, they're trying to make money in the end. And, RGL, headed by Sigafu and all these guys doing so much great work, they're here because that's where their heart is.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to our second half here. Froyotech versus 100 Beasts. Froyotech up 3-2. And we're going to have to see here if 100 Beasts can pull this back here. You certainly need to win this map to stay alive in this matchup and force it to a third map, which would be clear cut. Right now, the Beast bot mode getting on top of that pack. Froyotech just working around their left side. Showstopper going for that big bomb again, but it's Ash coming in from the other side. Ash does get the kill on Cookie Jake. Both the soldiers down for the Beast, but they've gotten Habib as well. Jay getting a nice arrow kill. Banny going for the full wraparound, coming around the corner right on top of 404. He's missing most of his shots, though. It took him to the third one to scratch him. Thankfully, Eric coming from behind gets the cleanup.
So when 100 Beasts took their soldiers to double high bomb onto Cookie Jake and got him, it was great, especially because 100 Beasts had both of their scouts on the high ground, denying the jump back onto 404. But the thing is, X9 in these kinds of 3v3, 4v4 mid fights that you find yourself in after a few seconds, your medic can't really frag, So when they have enough players kind of pushing into you and they're doing 4 players worth of damage to your 3 players worth of damage, then that's enough to convert the mid, especially when Banny runs it around town.
Yeah, no, certainly. And Froyotech now, they have the advantage. They're working into yard as well. It's going to first 100B to back up a bit. And Showstopper still kind of, I think he came in through drop down. Eric's actually going to drop the taunt on him. He cleaned up that fight easily. Banny looking for that lunchbox rotate. Coming in very aggressively here. They're in up top, thinking about using here. Don't quite have to yet.
Our control point is being captured.
Yeah, a little bit of rotation. Looks like they will be able to get this capture easily. Cookie Jake just staying where he is. So they can overcharge through upper eventually here.
So we have right here with the sentry gun a little bit in front of this fence. It's one of my favorite things to see because it's just so dumb when you have the gun behind the wall completely. So the enemy team doesn't even see it until they're all the way in, but it can shoot people on the point depending on the angle. So it looks like now he's opting to put it under the pipes, which is a very effective spot given that if a player comes in from the high ground or, these players that are kind of shooting towards point, shooting up top, and then suddenly the gun's weirdly behind them as they're coming in. It splits their vision very effectively. By the way, remember I said you can't really feed your sniper in as Jay walks on the pipe trying to get into upper here and go for a pick.
Yeah, that is really the lone angle. Obviously, I don't know. Sometimes we're casting, we're like rambling on a subject, and things just happen. You gotta shift gears. Patty and Eric, prove my point. Going down here, 100 Beast. Might point out nice little sticky traps though around this side that beast mode's bot mode, excuse me, is looking to move into. Yeah, he pushing out here. We'll see if bot can find the trap. I think he did spot him. And Habib does pop him. We'll find Ash there, excuse me. Patty and Eric still pressuring.
I like that a little bit better. I want to change my alias for Baba right now to be 100 beast mode.
I mean, it's good. It's like High Five Demo Man, right? You know, where you have High Five himself as the, Demo Man. You have 100 Beasts, and you have Beast Mode himself as the Demo Man. You know, I'm not going to rename him right now. Patty coming in from the side. They lose 3. And the legendary triple sack. And Ash pushing around the corner here. Will find Yomps. Ash does survive. Gets an arrow heal as well. So he's going to feel courageous here. Yomps taking a bit of spam. The overcharge is used here.
Oh, you're loving this if you're 4-4. Look how much more point presence they have.
Yeah.
They're able to now work forward. It looks like, ooh, Cookie Jake is able to get away thanks to the help of the shutter, but yeah, 100 B's not wanting to commit too much.
Oh, and Yite gets 2 though over on Lunchbox size. Kills the Yomps before Yomps can fall down. And now it's Yite's through drop down. He finds Cookie Jake, not going to be able to get a kill there. These other players a little bit slow on the follow-up. Can't completely chop Froyotech there.
I've been waiting this whole game for a drop down play, and I'm so excited right now, even though it didn't work. But it looks like now the Ubers are like pretty even, and with Yite being kind of a later death, you're hoping that 100B is able to hold this clean and just kind of reset, wait for the exchanges back and forth. But look at this side. Oh,
yeah.
Courtyard here. Arak gets a little greedy and goes down for it.
Patty got through though. Showstopper looking to find him. Oh, Patty does get good damage on him. Should get finished up here by Yite. Yite though did eat a rocket though, so he's gonna have to wait for a pack before he can
Get back with his team.
And a little bit of a stalemate here. 3-2 in Froyotech's favor. This is our second half though of second map. Froyotech also taking the first map.
I don't know about you, some of these stalemates can feel really stressful or worrisome, but we talked about how segregated that this map is, that each point is kind of contained within itself, so this kind of stalemate makes you feel a lot safer as a team. That, of course, they're going to be trying to go for these openings in Aragon Sniper, but, you know, this is more of the, either you have to make a mistake like 404 does, just walking into the angle, even though that's the classic, but now, 404 just gives up the 100% add to Cookie Jake.
Yeah, that's real unfortunate there. And, you know, sometimes these things can end up deciding rounds. I mean, certainly that's just going to shove them back at least a point. Bot mode is, does have some traps set up. Let's see exactly where they are, but got an eye on something.
I was about to say, Eric kind of being the point man here, walking with a full charge body shot, and then just nails Ash instantly. This is giving them a good amount of room, especially because the Uber is coming in, excuse me, and the gun goes down right away. The point is stickied, and Showstopper's trying to do what he can. A little bit of a try here.
Yeah, although Eric gets 404 again. That means Botmont's not going to have any heals. Neither is Jay. They get cleared up. And Eric, definitely huge work on the sniper. Getting it done. Helping his team take the 4th point. 4-2 now. Could end it with the same score. As Banny said, that's high impact sniper. Jay, take notes.
How dare you speak to Jay this way, Banny? No one can talk to Jay for the rest of the night. Save it for the next match.
Yeah, it's Ash throughout the capital letters, cringe. And we'll see though, Froyotech certainly on the cusp of sealing this matchup. Showstopper with the big bomb on the top here, does get Habib there. Follow-up bomb from Ash, trying to fight on the crates, gets taken care of pretty cleanly though.
I love seeing that 100 beasts on this high ground, but they're really not able to convert it, huh?
No.
They got a lot of damage, but it looks like, of course, Banner now coming back to... Oh, Arcus now coming in from behind. And there comes a collapse. That's it.
Yeah, huge pincer play there. Oh, look at, well, Jay surviving a little bit extra long there, but Cookie Jake still up with 100%. Habib also alive. Wasn't sure which side of the map that he was on, but he's just getting with his team.
I remind me to look up after this match how many mid fights that Fur has won, because it feels like almost all of them. You know, both teams have been doing more or less the same thing, like kind of the same default to mid. Now that we've had 6 mid fights, but
Yeah.
Froyotech seems to come out on top every time.
Yeah, it looks like 100 Beast only won one mid fight of that first half. So certainly it's been pretty tough for him over the course of the night. They just got 2 mid fights in that first half, the first map.
And this isn't what you want to see either. Being down 4-2, 4-2. Now holding off Uber. You know, you have your sentry gun, you have your players are buffed up, faking the Uber, getting the build. So this is enough time that you're able to at least hold Uber. The Uber, oh, I say that. Habib is so in.
Oh, right on top of bot mode. Banny's there to help finish that up. Showstopper on top of the top pipe. Ash trying to skip jump out here as well. Doesn't get a ton of momentum. Cookie Jake is okay here. Here comes the follow-up though. Habib and Eric down. But 100 Beast maybe a little bit fearful of a back cap. So they're just a little bit cautious in how they want to push forward here. Nothing too greedy. Oh yeah, it's gonna go down. Ash is fighting here. And pressure from up top here. Banny doing work. Yom's pushing forward. He's fighting from the pipes. Will trade with Showstopper. Pressure in from the side here. Banny and Cookie Jake pushing in. Patty dropping down. He's going to get the kill on bot mode. Just 2 players up. Jay and 404. I think that's it. Oh, as Jay gets destroyed midair. 404 did get an arrow kill there. But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. 5-2, 5-2. For your upper bracket finalists booking their spot in the grand finals, Froyotech.
Congratulations to Froyo. Definitely showing that they earned it. You know, the first round was a little bit closer on Snakewater, but right here, Froyotech taking their opponent's map pick 5-2.
Yeah, the first half was solid by 100 Beasts. You know, they lost it 2-3, but at the same time, you know, it was just that basically that one pipe from Habib kind of reaching out to get that damage and stuffing things. Banny, you know, continuing to talk a little bit of trash talk and, you know, calling Team Fortress his game. But, you know, as a pro player, I mean, you know, it has been, you know, over seasons and seasons. And, you know, that is the strive. And I hope that, you know, 100 Beasts can bounce back, you know, whether it's this season or next season. But, you know, currently they are going to get put into the lower bracket. And there is another match going on, you know, in regards to that lower bracket. So maybe we should just kind of wrap things up here somewhat quickly. You got any further thoughts, though, Rogue?
I think you said it all. I liked a lot what I saw out of Froyotech. Some good signs of life from 100 Beasts and an all-around great game.
Yeah, definitely. Very enjoyable. Huge shout out to our producer, Dolphin. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. You guys were a wonderful crowd. Again, you know, this was supposed to be a LAN finals, but canceled because of everything going on with COVID. So please stay inside, stay healthy, wash your hands. You know, I made a little infographic. I'm going to share it on my Twitter. I'm going to share it through the top 10 coming up. But, you know, follow the RGL Twitter so that you guys can get up-to-date information on when that next match is going to be coming up, because we're trying to wrap this up. We're trying to get through these matches so that we can get on to Season 3. So thanks so much for joining us out tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, though, please head over to Team Fortress TV for the other match that's going on, the lower bracket finals. But that does it for here tonight. Thanks so much for joining us, ladies and gentlemen. I am Eckstein. We'll see you guys next time. Peace out!